One way experts are advising people to prevent the spread of coronavirus is to use telemedicine or virtual doctor visits instead of going to a hospital or doctor's office in person.
And we know the rising cost of health care is a top concern for Americans, which is why we started the Contact 7 Cost of Care initiative. To combat the cost of virtual visits, more insurance companies are covering them.
But while they may seem easier than making a traditional doctor's appointment, some question if they can ever replace the personal touch you get with an actual physician. So this morning, Denver 7's Nicole Brady goes 360.
We've all done the drill at the doctor's office. The waiting, the weigh-in, and an up-close and personal exam. But more doctor's visits now mean visiting a website with names like Hey Doctor and Doctor on Demand. Telemedicine, once seen mostly as a solution for rural communities, is now being used by people everywhere. So are virtual visits replacing the in-person doctor's visit? For a full 360 look at this, we talked to online providers, a traditional primary care doctor, a mental health expert, a school district doing healthcare in a new way, and of course, patients. When CU Boulder student Jack Bolgard came down with a sore throat, he wasn't sure where to go.
I'm from Pennsylvania, so I usually just go through doing medical things there.
Instead of finding a doctor in Boulder and hoping they'd have an opening, he set up an online appointment with American Well, a Boston-based telemedicine company with 6,000 providers, including specialists, all who see their patients via video chat.
Oftentimes, these patients have already tried to reach out to their primary care physician. They put the call in and they've been told, hey, we have no visits.
Dr. Mia Finkelstein says the most valuable feature of telemedicine is the immediate access. For Jack, he just opened wide and got a diagnosis the same day.
She knew right away, okay, yeah, there's white spots in the back of your throat, you have strep throat. It was very convenient because I could just go in and pick up my medication that day rather than missing probably an extra day or two of school.
Another benefit of telemedicine, privacy.
They don't have to leave their home. They don't have to worry about anyone else seeing them.
Mo Keller, Director of Advocacy for Mental Health Colorado, says this is a huge benefit for people seeking behavioral health treatment, and telepsychiatry is taking off.
People open up more when they're in their own home. They can have a conversation where they feel much more comfortable, especially men.
Then there's the cost. Most of these telemedicine options charge a flat fee. Dr. James Wantuk started PlushCare, a smartphone-based option.
Part of our mission is providing transparency into the process. You know up front what you're going to pay. You're not going to get a surprise bill 6 months later, which is a huge problem in medicine.
So how does the cost of care compare? A Rand Corporation study found telemedicine visits cost around $79 on average, compared to $146 for an in-person doctor's visit and $1,734 for an emergency room visit. But the study also found patients may end up booking more telemedicine appointments, so they may spend more in the end. More insurance companies are covering virtual visits. But some say virtual healthcare is not a replacement for a trusted primary care doctor. Dr. Scott Joy believes it's important to see the doctor in person at least once a year.
I think the biggest challenge with the virtual visits is getting that accurate clinical data. And there is not a visit that I do in any day where I don't get some type of clinical data from having the patient face-to-face.
From a blood pressure check to a heart rhythm and even just being able to observe a patient's movement.
Watching one of my patients walk down the hall, particularly an elderly patient, I can pick up a lot of what's happening. I can look for balance issues. I can look for tremor.
Misdiagnosis is already a problem in medicine, and whether or not a doctor can accurately diagnose certain conditions over video is something that worries patient Peter Bosman.
Being online, while he can see you, but he can't touch you, he can't sort of feel you, he can't do a proper examination.
Both Peter and his wife June prefer the personal touch they get from their regular office visits.
I think you have to have a doctor that you can talk to and you can trust.
So what about a combination? The Poudre School District has implemented a mobile health clinic that brings a physical doctor's office to campus, but inside students connect to a physician over video.
Adelina, did you get ear infections when you were little?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah. A lot, I can tell.
We're not trying to replace primary care models in the community. What we are trying to do is keep these kids healthy enough to stay in school and learn.
We see that there's huge potential to expand access to health care services to students all across the state by using this telemedicine model.
For now, it seems both models have their place, but as more doctors find ways to incorporate telemedicine and advancements are made in both personal health technology and robotics, the future could look a lot different when they say the doctor is in. Nicole Brady, Denver 7.
This week, the State Division of Insurers directed insurance companies to do outreach and education to remind their members about telehealth options.
And that includes providing COVID-19 related telehealth services for free with no co-pays, deductibles, or co-insurance that would normally apply to virtual visits.
So now we want to hear your perspective. Do you use telehealth services? Do you find them to be as reliable? You can share your thoughts by emailing 360@thedenverchannel.com.
It is now just about 6:42. Happy Wednesday. Beautiful midweek. It's going to be the warmest day of the week. Upper 60s, near 70 this afternoon, under a little mix of sun and clouds. We are seeing those winds start to pick up. I'm going to show you just how strong they'll get in some neighborhoods and what to expect on Friday when that next storm hits coming up.
We have another new problem down at the Gap Project with a car fire just south of Castle Rock. We also have that ramp from E470 to go west on C470 still blocked. They're picking up the tow truck now. They should be clear of this in the next 5 minutes to get all lanes open and traffic moving again. We'll also take a look at that car fire down south coming up in just a few minutes.
A Front Range youth hockey team could be getting the boot from its home rink.
Our Eric Lufer is live this morning with concerns from dozens of parents who paid hundreds of dollars to sign their kids up.
And we look at the new evidence finding gray wolves are here to stay in Colorado. Oh, yeah.
Like 4 and 5. As well. What else am I going to do? I'm
So
up.
you can't go back to sleep.
No. No, once I'm up, I'm up.
You've always been like that.
I don't know. I think it's just been this
I'm
shift.
jealous of that, too. I want to be you, Dimples.
So I'll watch like three episodes before anyone else is up. Welcome back. 6:45 is your time this morning, and a youth hockey league in Jefferson County is pleading with Foothills Parks and Recreation to reconsider forcing them out of the ice rink they've called home for nearly 2 decades.
Denver 7 reporter Eric Lufer is live outside the Edge Ice Arena. And Eric, walk us through what exactly happened here.
Well, Molly and Brian, if things go according to plan, the Edge Ice Arena here on the southwest side of town off Sims and Ward would no longer be home to the Foothills Hockey Association. Foothills Parks and Rec signed with a different league, the Littleton Hockey Association. So, of course, parents and kids say they were blindsided by this decision.
And I think it's honestly not fair that they just take the rink from us because this is our rink.
Parents and young athletes filled a room during a meeting with Foothills Parks and Rec last night. They voiced their concerns for the decision that was made. The bottom line, they feel betrayed. This ice rink has been home to the Foothills Hockey Association for 17 years. We even found some video from the group's Facebook page. As for Foothills Parks and Rec, the executive director flat out told us this was a business decision all the way, that more money would come from this new deal. Here's how he responded to the backlash from last night's meeting.
I think the board did a fantastic job of listening to their concerns, and I'm sure we'll be having some healthy conversations related to that decision later on.
So here's the other problem for the Foothills Hockey Association. They've got registration for the 2020-2021 season coming up this spring, and right now it's up in the air where they'll play. I'm Eric Lufer, Denver 7.
Thanks, Eric. A pack of wolves appears to be staying in northwest Colorado. Colorado Parks and Wildlife says the group has been verified in Moffat County. Someone spotted 7 wolves last Tuesday, and wildlife officials saw the wolves again the next day. Officials believe they're likely the same pack seen in that area back in January. CPW says the wolves in Colorado are probably from larger populations in Wyoming, Idaho, or Montana.
I think the tracks are a dead giveaway.
I would say so, yes.
We've got a beautiful start, gorgeous sunrise this morning. It's going to be bright. When you look at our snowpack statewide, we're at 103% of normal as of yesterday. So we are looking at those numbers decreasing, but there is more snow heading especially for southwestern Colorado. Some heavy snow there in the next 24 hours. Your ski forecast this morning, pretty mild, some teens and 20s by first chair. By the end of the day, we're going to see